Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Cantell School, welcome to your school. We're here today to talk through the wider reopening of our school from the 15th of June to Year 10 students. Can I start off by thanking all of our community for engaging in the process of the wider reopening. That is the feedback that you've given on the letter that I sent last week, but also on the PowerPoint that Mr. Creswell sent, and also the risk assessment. Those are all version 1. There will be version 2 and version 3 coming out, and that's because we really do want to hear from the whole of our community with regards to the plans that we are putting into place. Can I start off by talking about some of the logistics with regards to the wider reopening? First and foremost, the decision to make a wider reopening from the 15th of June has been made because we have a lot more intelligence and information with regards to the rate of localized infections. We are linking up with the Director of Public Health for Southampton, and she is providing all of the secondary head teachers and indeed the primary head teachers with regular information on the trajectory of those infections. So whilst it is absolutely the right time now to start to get students back in for face-to-face contact, we will be continuing to monitor the situation and will inform you accordingly. From Monday the 15th of June, for the wider reopening, we would want students to come in non-school uniform, but sensible clothing. That is because the expectation is that when students come back home, that their clothing is bagged and then put into the wash straight away, and that they wear fresh clothing every day where possible. This reduces the chances of spreading COVID-19. We would also strongly recommend that staff and students do not travel by public transport. We would advocate students walking to school, we would advocate students biking to school, and we would advocate students coming in in a car, a lift from those that they live with. If you are going to be dropping your son or daughter into school, please drop them off outside of the school because the car park will be unavailable. So this doesn't necessarily need to be straight outside of school, of course. It can be dropped off in one of the neighbouring roads. We've got two main entrances for students to walk through, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But if students are going to be coming on bike, and of course it's an incredibly healthy way of coming into school, then this is the way that we will be going through. So as you can see, labelled very clearly, this is a bike entrance only, and that students are to queue in the marked boxes. As you would expect, we will have staff carrying out duties at various different duty points across the school. As you can see, the boxes are very clearly marked out, and students are expected to stay in the boxes if there is a queue. As we get up to the top of the hill, we would ask students to wait here and for them to listen very carefully to the member of staff who will then allocate a spot for them to go through and drop off their bike. And as you can see, the students will be coming through this way, dropping off their bike, coming back, and as they come back, the member of staff will sanitize their hands. And this will be a key theme throughout the school. While staff will be encouraging students to wash their hands at regular intervals, to use the hand sanitizers available at regular intervals, we do need to teach our youngsters to take responsibility to do that themselves, both in school and of course at home and the wider community. So once students have sanitized their hands after dropping off their bikes, they'll come this way through to the next staff duty point. As you can see, the entrance into the school in the school, as in the turning circle, are all marked with socially distanced markers, which are 2 meters apart. So we ask those students that are coming in by bike to come this way, to separate out and to wait here until they are told where to go next. For those students that have been with us for the last 10 weeks, those students of key workers, we would ask you to come in through the staff car park, and we would ask you to come up the stairs, which, as you can see, are socially distanced. Being careful that there are no bicycles coming this way, and continue down all the way down to main reception, and your entrance would be the main school entrance. Regardless of your mode of transport, that is the way that your child is going to be travelling into school, we would expect them to be on time. That is as per the schedule in the detailed letter that we are sending alongside this virtual tour. If students arrive 15 minutes late, sadly we'll be unable to let them into school, and we will make contact with you to send them home. I'm sure you will appreciate that with everything that we're doing, it's safety first. We're currently stood at the green and the blue entrance. The green students will be coming in the morning, as you know, and the blue students will be coming in the afternoon. If we walk through the entrance, you will see again the socially distanced markers that are available throughout the school, and students are expected to abide by these 2 meter markers. As we walk through, if there are a number of students, we would expect them to be sensible and to wait at regular intervals, eventually coming to a stop at this point, where the duty member of staff will use the hand sanitizer and direct the students to the next point. So once blue and green have sanitized their hands, they'll come straight through this entrance here, turning left, and we'll continue down through the canopy. The students will then turn left, right is out of bounds. You'll see now very clearly marked signs for the blue and green groups. Throughout the school, we'll be very clear on routes that students could have used in the past that are now out of bounds, and these will be clearly signed either staff only or no entry. So the blue group will continue on this way. Markers and signage throughout. Again, expecting students and staff to maintain those 2 meter distance. All the way up to the blue entrance. So this is the blue entrance, as you can see, with the blue stairs only. In all of our zones, students will be limited to those individual zones only, and indeed staff as well. So we are essentially creating a bubble of staff and students staying to the same zones. Hand sanitizer here, blue stairs. Let's continue. Again, areas will be marked off with no entry signs and staff only. Students are to keep to the left-hand side, and as you can see, there are very clear markers throughout, not just only on the stairs, so to help students navigate to where they need to go. We're now going to be entering the blue teaching zone. As you can see, there's no access up, so students can go through into their teaching zone. The reason why these doors are closed, many of our doors will stay open, some of our doors will be shut because they are fire doors, and it is absolutely necessary and right that we keep those doors shut. But rest assured that our hygiene regime, our cleaning regime is robust and rigorous, and there is daily cleaning taking place. Markers on the floor, as you can see, again, staying to the left-hand side, in, the right-hand side, out. And as we continue through, we'll show you an example of a classroom in this particular zone. So as we come in, you'll see that there are 10 seats and tables for the students to sit on. Students will be expected to come in, and they will be told which seat they will be sat at. We would like the students to sit on the right-hand side of the table, clearly marked on the table itself. On the left-hand side will be a tray of work, of stationery, and anything that the student wishes to bring in to help them, to aid them with their learning. Students, if they wish to, are able to bring their own Chromebooks or laptops or their own portable devices in, and this will help them in terms of supporting sending work home, taking pictures and sending it to the teacher, and so on and so forth. Each table will be numbered, and when students are dismissed, they will be dismissed by table number. If a student wishes to go to the toilet, they will do so during the scheduled lesson times. All they'll simply need to do is draw attention to the fact that they want to go to the toilet to the teacher. The teacher will then radio through to one of the senior leaders or the year leader that is on duty at the time, and then they will make arrangements for the student to go to the toilet. We have allocated different toilets to the different zones, of course, and if I did have permission to go to the toilet, I would be getting up and I would be walking this way, straight through, and in this particular zone, I'd be turning right. The blue zone markers show where we're heading to in terms of the toilets. So as you can see, this area here is the blue toilets for boys and for girls. And in every zone we have a disabled toilet as well. But if I can just point you to this sign here. Super thank you for keeping safe by washing your hands. We would insist that students wash their hands every time they've been to the toilet, but also when they come in and out of a classroom, they should also be sanitizing their hands as well. Every table will also have some wipes, and we would like students to get into the habit of wiping down their area, regardless of the fact that it would have been cleaned anyway by our cleaners on a daily basis, and indeed at the weekends in a more deep way. We just want students to get into the habit of washing their hands, sanitizing their hands, and wiping down the surfaces that they're either going to use and the surfaces that they have used as well. Every zone, every student will have a break time when they're in school. It's really important that they have the opportunity to go outside in the fresh air and to socially chat with their friends in a safe manner. So once the bell goes for break time, the teacher will check the corridors and each classroom will be assigned a number to leave and to go down to their designated break time area. When my table number is called, I will get up and I will follow the students in front of me in a socially distanced manner, and I will use the same doors that I came in from to go out. Remembering that we are in this blue zone, green zone, and red zone, we are creating the idea of these bubbles. So we come down all of the way here. I can't go right, I go left. Again, the hand sanitizers are here. They're going to be regularly topped up. Students can sanitize their hands as they go out. And this courtyard will be the area for the blue break zone. As you can see, we've made adjustments to the seating areas so that on any one of these benches, only 2 students at any one time can sit. Again, we will have hand sanitizing stations around here. We will also have wipes so that students can wipe down the area before they use it and wipe down the area afterwards as well. There will always be at least 2 members of staff on duty in this area to help the students, and they are more than welcome to have some food, pack lunch that they might have brought in around this area. They can sit on the wall as long as they are 2 meters apart. They can stand and walk around. The main thing is, of course, that they are safe, they are sensible at all times. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we come to the end of this virtual tour, I hope you'll agree that we have done as much as we reasonably can to mitigate the risk in school. I've already spoken about the information that we've received more locally, which talks about the rate of infections, and you have my absolute guarantee that I will keep you informed when I receive that information on a regular basis. With regards to this device that I've been carrying around with me on the virtual tour, this is a thermograph, and we will be taking the temperature of our community when they come into school. With regards to any sign of illness, should that be before school or after school, we must take a really robust view on this. So if your child is displaying any symptoms whatsoever, please do not send them in. If they show any signs in school, we will contact you straight away and ask you to come to pick your youngster up. And if the symptoms aren't too severe, then we'll be asking for your permission to send them home. In terms of laptops, we will have laptops available in every single zone. We'll have laptops available and prioritised for the option subjects. We are encouraging your child to bring in the device or devices that they have been working on at home. Please do encourage them to bring in their phone, bring in their laptop, their Chromebook, whatever the device might be. It will help them to transit the work from school and to home, but also it will give you peace of mind that you're able to contact them during break time, before school and after school as well. In terms of food and drink, we have to be very clear that we will not be serving any food and drink on site. Students are more than welcome to bring in a snack or a packed lunch, but they must also bring in a bottle of water. All of our water fountains have been taken off to discourage students from using them, and so where possible, students should be drinking from water that they brought in from outside of school. If a student does run out of water, we do have bottled water available, but of course that is really limited. So it really only leads me to say thank you for viewing this virtual tour. Please remember that this virtual tour is to be viewed together with the following documentation: my letter from last week, Mr. Creswell's PowerPoint, the letter from Mr. Gill that is going out today, the risk assessment, updated version 2 that will be sent out today, and also fifth and lastly, and as important as all of the other documentation, is the updated behaviour policy. Please take some time to read these documents in full, to share these with your children before they return. It goes without saying, we're really, really looking forward to seeing your children again. We will do so in the safest way possible. Thank you very much.